So now let's go on to the postseason. And let's see if we can pick out who the wild card winners are. So maybe these are the teams that just missed out on your division winner picks, but teams you still think are pretty good. So you have 3 wild cards in each conference. So for me, I'm going to go heavy in the AFC East. I think this is the best division in football, or at least it's going to be in the AFC. I am going to go with the Bills and the Dolphins out of the AFC East. And then I'm going to add in the Ravens because the Ravens have been really good in the regular season. I don't think they win the division crown. I think that goes to the Bengals. So those are my 3 teams. I'm going Bills, Dolphins, Ravens. Jenks, who do you think are the wild card teams representing the AFC?
I'm going Ravens. Too much Lamar Jackson. He's too good to not get this team into the playoffs. I do like the Texans. I don't think they're going to win the division. I think they're overvalued here. And again, I think Dylan made a really good point, which is let's not forget that the Colts finished 1 game back last year, even with a backup quarterback. So I like the Texans to get in, even though I really like the Colts a lot this year. But I think it's the Texans. I think it's the Texans who find a way in. And then I'm going to go with the Jets. I feel like in that division, I'm kind of with you. It's a very strong division. Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, particularly with that defense, gets the green in. So let's go Ravens, Texans, Jets.
All right, Bill. Who are your wild card teams?
Yeah, it's interesting that I thought how we were going to be on a ledge here. At least I thought I might be. I've got the Jets as a wild card because they didn't win the division. I've got the Bengals out of the AFC North not winning the division, and also the Texans, much like Jinx.
Okay.
You and I both. Did you realize it?
I mean,
no Buffalo.
Wow. Yeah.
No Buffalo, which I was surprised that there'd be more than maybe one of us that went with no Bills. So, no Buffalo making the playoffs.
I'm bearish on the Bills, yeah.
The Bills. Bless their fans' hearts. Might be a tough year. All right, David, who do you like for your wild card teams?
I, too, am going to go with the Dolphins. I think they're going to be right there underneath the Jets. Possible flip-flop there. But I'm going to say that they're the wild card from the East. Going with the Colts. I think they take a jump forward this year as long as Anthony Richardson stays healthy. And my chaos one, it's the Steelers. Mike Tomlin,
David.
That defense, and Justin Fields will lead the Steelers to the playoffs.
Oh, God. Double T.
He's loyal, if nothing else.
That's true. Very loyal, Double D. You're always on brand. You never switch it up on us, so I do have a lot of respect for that.
I'll walk it back if I'm wrong. I'll walk it back if I'm wrong. You know I will, but
no, that's true.
I'll die on the hill.
Well, the Steelers have made the playoffs with some bad teams. Like, remember the year when Ben Roethlisberger was throwing like 2.5 yards per play? Like, and they still almost made the playoffs, or maybe they did. I can't remember. I think it was that game against the Ravens. I think they sent him home, if I'm not mistaken. So you're right. Mike Tomlin is one of the longest tenured head coaches in the NFL for a reason. So it would be shocking, but not that shocking. All right, Dylan, who are your wildcard teams?
I'm being a little more chalky, just with teams that are just right outside winning the division. I went with the Dolphins, the Bengals, and the Texans to all make it. I think you guys all made relatively good points for all those teams, so I won't waste too much time.
I know. I feel like, again, I'm trying to go outside the lines here and be like, well, can you make a case for the Broncos? I don't know. Like, it's hard to go against the favorites. There will be some team that comes out of nowhere, but maybe I'm not the one to find it. All right, so now let's shoot for the moon here and see if we can pick a winner of the AFC. So for me, it's all about the Bengals. It's always been about the Bengals. Joe Burrow healthy, of course, is the main talking point here. And plus, we also need Jamar Chase to settle down and actually play the season, because this is the big asterisk, I think, that is looming over the Bengals right now. But he has 2 years left on his deal. Like, he should be playing. So I'm still going to remain with the Bengals. The only team, I feel like, who can go toe-to-toe with the Kansas City Chiefs. Joe Burrow is 3-1 against the Chiefs in the regular season. So that is my point, and I will stick to it. So, Jenks, who do you like to win the AFC?
Yeah, going the Bengals as well. I'm right there with you. Love Joey B. I love the fact that when it comes to recent history, the past few years, like you mentioned, he's had a lot of success against Kansas City. And part of this is it's so difficult. I mean, no team has ever won 3 straight Super Bowls. Ever. So maybe they get back, but when you take that into account and a quarterback who has had previous success against the Chiefs, I'm on the Bengals as well.
I have said this about the Rams. The most important duo in all of football is your head coach and your quarterback. And you've got to remember, the Rams still have one of the best duos in the NFL, Matt Stafford and Sean McVay, who have both won a Super Bowl. So yes, the defense has some questions. Aaron Donald is going to leave a huge hole. But here's the thing. I think the Rams offense can go toe-to-toe with some of the best offenses in the NFC, including the Niners. And I think a lot of this is, what do you make of the Niners? And I feel like we got some scares last year for the Niners. When they have their star players go down, they are beatable. When Trent Williams went down, this team lost both of those games. When Deebo Samuel, the offense was missing a huge component of what makes them really special. And plus, think of all the wear and tear that Christian McCaffrey has had over the years. He was the only cornerstone of the offense in Carolina, went to the Niners. He's been used heavily. So I think there's a chance he gets hurt. I don't want to see it, but I'll go with the Rams here at plus 325.
I'm going Niners. Bill, what do you think?
Yeah, same thing, Niners. Although I do not trust them going forward in the playoffs
That's
because
fair.
of the Trent Williams stuff and everything else. But I got them winning the division. Might be, at 10 and 7.
Yeah.
They're not. I don't think they win 12, 13 games, but they win the division.
Double D?
All depends on Trent Williams for me, but I do have the 49ers winning this division.
What about you, Dylan?
I also have the 49ers winning. I think they're the cream of the crop of the NFC.
Yeah, I think so as well. Just too talented across the board. All right. Now we're going to go. Chelsea, give me your 3 wildcard teams, your NFC champion, and your Super Bowl winner.
Ooh, I'm going to go with the Niners since they didn't win the division for me. And then I'm going to go with the Packers, and I'm going to go with the Cowboys. The Cowboys are just so good in the regular season. I don't see them missing the playoffs. There's a chance that they exit in the first round. And then the Packers, I just feel like there's not that many teams in the NFC. Like the AFC seems very crowded to me, but for the NFC, it's pretty top heavy. So those are the teams. Niners, Packers, and Cowboys.
All right. I'm going to go for the wild card. I'm going to go Lions, Packers, Seahawks. I think the Seahawks get in over the Rams, and then NFC champion, Eagles, Super Bowl, Eagles. If you're looking for value, I think the Eagles are 12-1. Pretty solid. Bill?
You're taking the Eagles to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I am.
All right, wild cards, Philly, Green Bay, Atlanta sneaking in. Your NFC Championship game, Detroit. Over the 49ers. Your Super Bowl champion, give me Miami, 31-27 over the line.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You're going Dolphins.
Dolphins
Double D.
win it.
Double D, what are you thinking, man?
I have Packers, Falcons, Commanders. NFC champion, Lions. Super Bowl champion, Lions.
Oh.
I like that.
I don't
like
mind
the
that a
Lions.
bit. All right, Dylan, let's finish strong. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking the Packers, Cowboys, and my hot take is the Vikings make the playoffs. I like
Holy
Flores
Lord.
on
Oh,
defense.
man.
And Donald, yeah, gross team, but I think they have a gross way to get there. And then Eagles winning the NFC, but Ravens win the Super Bowl.
Oh, going with the Ravens. All right.